All right, YouTube, we are live. I'm just gonna get stuff live on the other platforms real quick. There goes Periscope. Doop doop, and here. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're gonna get into the show in a minute. Just give everybody a few seconds to get in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Great show today. We're gonna have a great show today. We're gonna talk about Brexit, and we're gonna talk about the why Facebook watches. Facebook Live videos are really messing up right now, which I think is really concerning. So just give me a minute. Let me pull up my chat windows. We are live. We're live on YouTube. Thanks for everybody who's joining in on YouTube. We're live on Facebook and CrossPolitic. I'm getting everything set up. I'm trying something new today. I'm actually live streaming an Android device during the show because I want to show you guys specifically what's happening on Facebook. Why I think this is a bad idea. I think it's important for people to know about. So give me 1 second. Let me pull up. Well, you know what? I'll just pull up my Facebook chat on my phone, and then we will start the show proper. So how are you guys doing today? Everybody having a good time? It's a good day for you guys. I hope you're persevering in your walk with the Lord and all that stuff. So let me, I'm just going to pull it up on my feed if you guys want to interact with me. It's just that. So, all right. So first off, let's go ahead and let's start the show, and then I'll tell you guys what I would like for you guys to do. Today's going to be a little bit different in terms of sharing requests. But anyway, let's start the show.
When a government can confiscate the earnings of the people with no restraint or no limit whatsoever on the amount that government takes, then government has become the master.
Didn't you say that all services were worth at least $5.15, and here there is a service that's being rendered to you personally, which you are not compensating at all?
I said to you earlier, unless someone decides that they want to volunteer.
During the election, all this enthusiasm for Bernie Sanders was taking place while people in Venezuela, under a socialist government, were starving. They were breaking into grocery stores to get desperate to get food.
Regulations.
Some regulations.
Regulation.
What do you think should be the proper income tax rate?
Well, the best would be 0.
Welcome back to another episode of Law and Profits here on the Fight Laugh Feast Network. I'm King Ginger, and the mercy of the wicked is cruel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to say that to the people that are watching live on Facebook right now, I have some instructions for you. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to cut, because I noticed this has been happening, and it's been driving me crazy, and I was trying to figure out, why would they do this? And so if you go, let's pull up our Android device. So now we have our Android device. It is ready to go. I am watching a live video of the impeachment. It is paused right now just so we don't have the volume, because that's not really necessary. But as you guys can see, this is an Android device. The Android device is running, and so we're watching a live video of the impeachment hearing. Comments are rolling in even though I paused the video, because, who wants to hear... isn't this who is watching the impeachment trial? That's a question I want to know. But anyway, so and you guys can test this. If you're on Facebook watching this right now, you can test this on your own phone. So I've tested it on my phone, right now. I can test it on my phone, and then I can test it here on this Android emulator I have, and it's exactly the same. So if you hit share, which, by the way, you should do every time you're watching my show. I'm just saying, this little share button right here is pretty valuable. And I covet your pressing of it. So, but anyway, what happened recently, at least on Android devices, because that's what I use, so I don't know if it's the same on iPhones or not. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know. If you have an iPhone, you can let me know if this is true. If you hit share, and the normal thing you would do right now when you hit share is you would go right to start, and you would hit start. But if you do that, it'll start a watch party. And so what you have to do is, if you want to just share it on your wall like normal, you have to go to where it says write post. And then when you go to write post, now you can actually share as a normal post. Now, a lot of you are probably like, haven't even noticed this, because a lot of you I've noticed specifically when you share my videos of my live feeds, you go right and hit start here. You make your comment here, and then you hit start. And when you hit start, it starts a watch party. Now, I'm here to say that these watch parties are a way to suppress the conservative viewpoint. I know, that's shocking. It's unbelievable that Facebook would want to suppress the conservative viewpoint. But it's right before an election, and suddenly we have this weird new way that defaults to sharing videos that's not at all normal. It's not at all normal. So let me explain why this is happening. The reason this is happening, I saw a video and I wasn't able to find it, but because it was like, it's like 3 hours long. But it's every year I always watch the keynote speeches from, like, whether it's Google I/O or Samsung or Facebook F8, because those are the ones, they're leading the conversation in terms of, like, this is where technology is going. So I always try to watch the Apple keynotes, Google keynotes. I watch them all. And I remember specifically, Facebook's always the most interesting ones because they're way more focused on what they're doing for the community all the time. And so you can really see the direction of where technology is going probably the most from Facebook's, from a moral standpoint, is Facebook. So they're way more open about that. But one of the things Zuckerberg said was he wants to make Facebook move towards more of a conversation among friends in your house. So right now, Facebook is an open dialogue for everybody, but it doesn't do localized community well. So a lot of that emphasis, of course, is on Facebook groups, which are good, which are a good way to share niche. If you're conservative, you're conservative. Those are great. But here's what they've also done. This has just happened now. Now they're making it so when you share a video, a live video, that video is encapsulated into a watch party. And that means that your comments are isolated from the public discourse. So I've noticed this because people have started a watch party for my live videos. And they're talking and they're asking me questions and they're interacting with me. And they're unable to continue having a conversation with me because they're in their own watch party, which I don't get, because your watch parties, as Zuckerberg says, are part of what's happening on your living room couch. And they're not what's happening in terms of the public discourse. So Facebook defaulting, listen to me, this is very important. Facebook defaulting live videos to watch parties is isolating public discourse from the public conversation. This means that your comments, that your interaction with the host, you're isolating yourself from that core discussion, and you're sharing only with your close personal friends, and therefore Facebook doesn't have to worry about, quote, hate speech, because it's only among your friends. And they only have to worry about quote, hate speech when it's being shared and promoted in the public discourse. But they don't have to worry about stuff with your friends. But the problem is, when you start a watch party by default, you're not interacting with the public discourse. You're not a part of the public engagement. So that's why this stuff matters. That's why it's important to really understand what's going on here. When Zuckerberg is saying that he wants to isolate Facebook into local communities, neighborhood, city, state, and then super local, your couch, what he's saying is, we want these conservative ideas to be spoken of privately in your house, but we don't want them to get outside of that. So they've defaulted to this system that allows you to watch with your friends, your close personal friends, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as actually sharing my video or sharing anybody's video, really, and being a part of the public conversation. So somebody said, unless it's in a group. Yes, if you're starting a watch party to a group, even still, like even if you're starting a watch party of a live video in the group, you're not going to be able to really interact and see the comments together as a whole. So it's good. It's not good for the guy who's making the video. It's just not good in general because it's just an isolation thing. It's isolating the public conversation, and this is why it's important. Let's see if anybody's talking about this. This is why YouTube Live I really like a lot, at least because people can go there and it's all the same feed. Like everybody's watching the same thing. They're interacting. They're being a part of the same thing. Same thing with Twitch and DLive, the other live streaming services. Those things are great as well. So these are just things that so a lot of people are saying I don't even join watch parties, which is probably true. I don't like if I see a watch party, I usually try to click into the actual video and not be a part of the watch party because it's an isolation thing. And I don't want to be a part of the isolation of someone's watch party. So this is important. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Just because imagine, for example, you're preaching the gospel on the street versus preaching the gospel in your home. Nobody's really going to care about. The police, in this country anyway, police don't come to your door if you're sharing the gospel or having a Bible study in your home. But as soon as you move that Bible study or that gospel presentation to a public forum, well, now suddenly the police are involved and they're wondering whether or not you're loud enough, or you're too loud, or there's too many people blocking the sidewalk. There's all these different things. So that's why Facebook is trying to push media into these local groups where they're not affected. Like, it's a lot hard. It's a lot more difficult for a watch party to go viral than it is for someone's Facebook post that's out in the open in public. So I don't know if does watch parties, do those default to only friends? Because that'd be a good question too. Because for example, like I'm capped out at 5,000 friends, but even though I'm capped out at 5,000 friends, I still have maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people that are following me, and those people that are following me, I wonder if they get a notice that I've started a watch party. That's an interesting. That'd be interesting to know. Is there anybody watching right now that is not my Facebook friend? Maybe we could. I don't know if we could probably test it. So here's what I'll do. I'm just gonna share this watch party on my feed right now. I'm just gonna share it, and then what I want to know specifically is if somebody gets a notice to watch it, that's not a friend of mine. Because my assumption is that watch parties are only promoted maybe to the closest friends that you have and not to a large audience. So we'll just see how that test works. So now it says my watch party is about I just shared a watch party of
No, Ms. Ernst.
Of the impeachment.
Mrs.
No.
Fine. No, Mr. Inhofe.
That is not what I wanted to do. But anyway.
No, Mr. Johnson.
Let me leave. Stop.
No, Mr.
I can't
Jones.
pause it. I can't pause it anymore?
Aye.
Oh,
Mr.
well, you know what? That's just not going to work.
Aye, Mr. Kennedy. No.
Let me mute it. I'll mute it. Wow. So, so anyway, so that's how that went. I know there's a lot of people joining into that right now, which is stop watching this and go back to my video. I'm just gonna end this. That was a bad idea. Not now thing. How do I get out of this? How do I? Oh, that's right. I gotta hit this. Leave. End watch party. I don't want to be a part of that. That was a bad idea. Had 6 people watching. No, I just left. Okay. So anyway, that was that. So, sorry for that disaster that was. But at least now, like, you guys got I'm a follower, not a friend, and I was invited to your watch party. Oh, someone was. Okay. Thanks, Mary, for letting me know that. That is helpful a lot. So it looks like there were people that were invited that were followers and not friends. So, well, at least that's good. But I would still say I would still be concerned about starting a watch party as opposed to being able to interact directly, because we don't want to isolate our conversations and our shares and what we're promoting and talking about just to our localized group, especially when we're talking about social media. We want to blast that to the world. So somebody says, I got the invite and I'm not a friend. I just chose YouTube. Thank you. Thank you to those watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. We're talking about Facebook though. So thank you for watching on YouTube, Anna. Appreciate it. So, I guess that brings me to what's happening today. Today is Brexit Day. Finally, Britain is leaving the European Union, and I just want to play this amazing clip of Nigel Farage. Is that how you say his name? Farage? I'm really bad at pronouncing words. So this is the clip right here. Nigel Farage. I absolutely love this thing. I love this clip so much. And I want to play it, and we can talk about it as it happens. But this is an absolutely historic thing, and congratulations to Nigel for accomplishing this. It's huge. So let's just play this. And this is why, the reason I want to play this is because this is why Trump, the attitude that Trump has, the not being a part of politics in the way that Trump is really, really winning this game. And Nigel, for sure, has embraced that with this speech. We'll go ahead and start right here. No. Did he say the European Union wants their own army? That is frightening. That is a frightening thing. I just wow. It's so important that nations have borders and boundaries. We can get into a discussion on immigration. That's not what I'm referencing. I'm not referencing immigration when I say borders and boundaries. The point is just that there has to be solid lines in which the king knows how to govern, in which the government knows how to govern and make laws for. And when, the Bible says you can't serve 2 masters. And that's why Britain can't serve Britain and the European Union at the same time. It just doesn't work. It's just not how governments are made to function. The European Union was not the same thing as, let's say, the United States, for example. But anyway, it was a really twisted, screwed up version of that, if it was. Oh, somebody said there's no sound on this video. Oh, that's because I muted the other one. Oh, sorry. I'm an idiot. Let me fix that real quick. I thought, wow. Okay. Ow. Now let's see what you guys. Yeah, I think you guys should have it now. Let's try.
To the road, a 47-year political experiment that the British, frankly, have never been very happy with. My mother and father signed up to a common market, not to a political union, not to flags, anthems, presidents, and now you even want your own army. For me, it's been 27.
No, there it is. He wants his own army. There, you guys can hear it yourself. So, anyways.
Years of campaigning and over 20 years here in this Parliament. I'm not particularly happy with the agreement we're being asked to vote on tonight, but Boris has been remarkably bold in the last few months, and Ms von der Leyen, he's made it clear, he's promised us there'll be no level playing field. And on that basis, I wish him every success in the next round of negotiations. I really do. But the most significant point is this. What happens at 11 p.m. this Friday, the 31st of January, 2020, marks the point of no return. Once we've left, we are never coming back, and the rest, frankly, is detail. We're going, we will be gone. And that should be the summit of my own political ambitions. I walked in here, as I've said before, you all thought it was terribly funny. You stopped laughing in 2016. But my view has changed of Europe since I joined.
I saw an article today. And the title of the graphic was called "This Didn't Age Well," and it was an article, and the headline of the article read, "Calm down, Trump will not be president, and Britain will not be leaving the European Union." Wow, talk about a prophecy just completely falling apart, and so I mean I think we're seeing that there are people, a lot of them, that don't want this socialist, globalist, political garbage. They want freedom. People want freedom. And it's just, with all this new media that we have now, with the internet, with even with like the Fight Laugh Feast network or whatever, people are able to gather their media in ways that they've never been able to before. And in so doing, they're able to educate themselves on how a government should be run. They're able to educate themselves on, what does the Bible say about certain issues or whatever. And so what we have here is we have this massive new media platform, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and people are able to get their own education the way they want. And the result of education is freedom. And that's what we're seeing. Now, of course, we are seeing people who are flocking to, liberals and all that stuff. That's where the gospel comes in, changes people's hearts. And then, of course, that freedom leads them to actual government freedom as well. So this is what we're seeing. And Nigel has done such a great, it's so amazing just to see what's happening. Actually, if you go to his live feed right now, you can see they're having a Brexit party as they're waiting for 11 o'clock to strike. So I just think that's awesome.
In 2005, I saw the Constitution that had been drafted by Giscard and others. I saw it rejected by the French in a referendum. I saw it rejected by the Dutch in a referendum. And I saw you in these institutions ignore them, bring it back as the Lisbon Treaty, and boast you could ram it through without there being referendums. Well, the Irish...
That's frightening. Just like the fact that the way he's talking about these global elitists who are just like, we're going to do whatever we want. We don't care what the other countries add or value, want to add in terms of referendums or whatever. And the fact that the European Union's like, well, they're small countries, we're just going to do it anyway, no matter what they say. It's absolutely frightening.
Did have a vote and did say no and were forced to vote again. You're very good at making people vote again, but what we've proved is the British are too big to bully, thank goodness. So I became an outright opponent of the entire European project. I want Brexit to start a debate across the rest of Europe. What do we want from Europe? If we want trade, friendship, cooperation, reciprocity, we don't need a European Commission. We don't need a European Court. We don't need these institutions and all of this power. And I can promise you, both in UKIP and indeed in the Brexit Party, we love Europe. We just hate the European Union. It's as simple as that.
Remember those lines. Remember those words. We love Europe. We hate the European Union. Remember that. That's going to be very important in a few seconds.
So I'm hoping this begins the end of this project. It's a bad project. It isn't just undemocratic. It's anti-democratic, and it puts in that front row. It gives people power without accountability. People who cannot be held to account by the electorate, and that is an unacceptable structure. Indeed, there's an historic battle going on now across the West, in Europe, America and elsewhere. It is globalism against populism. And you may loathe populism, but I tell you a funny thing, it's becoming very popular. And it has great benefits. No more financial contributions, no more European Court of Justice, no more common fisheries policy, no more being talked down to, no more being bullied, no more Guy Verhofstadt. I mean, what's not to like? I know you're going to miss us. I know you want to ban our national flags, but we're going to wave you goodbye, and we'll look forward in the future to...
Now, there is a ban on flags. Somebody pointed this out. I don't know if it's in this video or not. I don't see. Oh yeah. Well, no, I don't see it in this shot. But there's another shot that they did. I think it's maybe more towards the beginning. But there is an actual European Union flag on someone's desk. So they do allow flags. They just don't allow your individual country or whatever.
Working with you as sovereign.
If you disobey the rules, you get cut off. Could we please remove the flags?
Look at this woman.
Mr. Farage.
Look at this.
Could we remove the flags, please?
That's it. It's all over. Finished. It's gone.
Could I please ask for quiet?
Oh, and that muffled audio right there is because they're cutting his mic. So.
Please sit down, resume your seats, put your flags away, you're leaving, and take...
Put your flags away, you're leaving! And she sounds like such an elitist middle school principal. Like, it's like that. This woman right here is just, her head is filled with too much power, and she thinks she's like I'm gonna cut your microphone off, but they don't care. They just walked away from the European Union. It's like her small, feeble attempts to have some sort of power over Britain. And all she can do at the end is just cut off their microphones and tell them to leave. I also think it's funny that she's telling them to leave, even though they've already declared that they're leaving on their own. But she being a statist has to make sure that she's the one kicking them out. So, because of the flags.
Them with you if you are leaving now. And
take the flags.
Goodbye. Can I just say If I may say, just in a slight reference, the word hate was used in the last contribution.
Okay, so she says, I was hoping it was in that clip, but it wasn't. She says essentially, the word hate was used, and we don't use that sort of language here. We don't use the word hate. And she mentioned that you hate a nation. Well, he never said. Nigel never said he hates a nation or a people group. He says he hates the European Union. That's what he hates. He hates that sort of disgusting union, the socialism, the liberalism, the globalism. He says, we love Europe. We hate the European Union. And she, as brilliant of a middle school principal as she is, says, you can't use that word hate to describe a nation. You can't hate a nation. He didn't hate a nation. He didn't. Not at all. He didn't hate a nation. He hated, he hated the European Union. So it's like, for example, if I said, I hate the Oscars, that doesn't mean that I hate movies. It just means I hate the Oscars. If I hate the Grammys, it doesn't mean that I hate music. Like, what sort of weird sort of statism, and like, she's just trying to hold on to power as long as possible and make it seem like Britain is this evil, awful nation that hates people to leave. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Gregory says it's 4 minutes till Brexit. So you know what we're gonna do? Thank you, Gregory, for that. That's really important. Let's just watch this, shall we? Wow, that live feed is really bad. Let's see if we can, yeah, their live feed is messed up. Maybe if we go to YouTube, we can see Brexit live. Let's do it. Brexit live. Well, I meant to go to YouTube and type in Brexit live. Hurry, the clock is ticking. Here we go. All right. This should be fun. Let's just watch Brexit together, guys.
I think there's a good chance he'll deliver. I think the Conservative Party learned a lesson in those European elections they never, ever want to repeat. So let us be optimistic. Let us think about the future of our great nation. Let us think about the example that we are giving to the rest of Europe and the free world as well. Let us celebrate tonight as we've never done before. You and all of us have made history, and this is the greatest moment in the modern history of our great nation. Thank you!
You gotta celebrate the wins. You gotta celebrate, even the small wins, you gotta celebrate them. I guess this, what is the Washington Post is showing this countdown clock as if there's nobody there and nobody cares. Would they do this on an empty street? What is this? We got 2 minutes. Is there a better feed? I want to go to the party. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a better feed. That. NBC News. Live now. This might be. Nope, they're all just doing the same shot. Okay. We'll just wait for another 1 minute and 50 seconds as Britain is about to leave. Somebody said, he's a Churchill. Yeah, I would definitely. He's definitely one of those figures for sure. No question about it. So it's a big deal. Brexit is a big deal. It's important. It is absolutely a momentous occasion. And let me just. 1 minute. 1 minute left. And we will see Britain make history and leave the globalist European Union. It's a big deal. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing that Nigel was able to do this. Huge accomplishment to him. I'm sure today is really tremendous for him. That's just absolutely. I just can't imagine being the guy that moves a nation to make such a significant move like that. It's a pretty big deal. So, 30 seconds left, guys. 30 seconds left. And Britain is once again a free nation. So, hooray, hooray, hooray. Hip hip hooray, that's the British thing. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out! That's awesome! That's awesome! Now if they'll only give everybody rights to guns, Britain will be and get rid of their government healthcare. Maybe this is the first step. Maybe this is the first step in really becoming a free nation again. I hope so. Or I guess, I mean, they've always been a monarchy, so they've been really a free nation. But I guess to some degree. Look at how happy he is. Oh, he's so cute, Nigel. Oh. Oh, man, that's awesome.
He needs to cut it. Wow.
2,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the national anthem.
Did that sign, that guy had a sign that says Boris equals Bono? Now bring down the monarchy. You don't need the monarchy, Britain. You know, they should have just switched to crowd mics at that moment, I think. But yeah, so that's Brexit. You guys were part of watching Brexit live with me. Really appreciate it. That was kind of fun and interesting. The timing was just right. I didn't know it was going to be at 4 o'clock this time. So that is phenomenal. So my wife was just watching my video and now she's calling me. So there must be something wrong because she knows I'm doing a live video, or maybe I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to end the stream, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all the people on the YouTube channel that are chatting. Be sure to like and subscribe at Crown Rights Media on YouTube. And also, make sure that you join the Fight Laugh Feast Network. There's a lot of exclusive content, especially Baptism Is Not Enough by John Crawford and the Chocolate Knox is a film. It's available. You can watch it when you join the Fight Laugh Feast Club. Thanks again, everybody. So thank you so much. And I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and Merry Brexit.